Let's start with two facts that cannot both be true, but are being presented simultaneously by the same government. Fact 1. On Monday, March 9th, standing at his luxury golf resort in Doral, Florida, Donald Trump told Republican lawmakers that the Iran war would be a short-term excursion that was going to be finished pretty quickly. Fact 2. That same week, the Pentagon revealed to Congress that the U.S. had already spent $11.3 billion in just 6 days. Munitions alone. Not total war costs, just the weapons fired, at a burn rate of approximately $1 billion per day. If the war is nearly over, why is America burning through $1 billion a day and asking Congress for tens of billions more? Let's walk through the financial anatomy of Operation Epic Fury. That is the actual code name the U.S. military has given this campaign. Days 1 and 2, $5.6 billion in munitions. This was the opening salvo, Tomahawk cruise missiles, advanced air defense interceptors, and what military analysts describe as the most intense precision strike package deployed by the U.S. since the 2003 Iraq invasion. Days 3 through 6, an additional $5.7 billion, bringing the 6-day total to $11.3 billion in munitions expenditure alone. Daily burn rate, approximately $1 billion. For context, the entire U.S. war in Afghanistan cost roughly $2.3 trillion over 20 years, or about $315 million per day at peak operations. The Iran campaign is burning 3 times that rate. If the conflict continues to September, as some U.S. officials have privately warned, the total could reach $180 to $215 billion. The administration is already preparing a supplemental congressional defense spending request worth potentially tens of billions of dollars, expected as early as this week. Here is the number behind the numbers. America is burning through its most sophisticated and irreplaceable weapons at a pace that is genuinely. The Pentagon began Operation Epic Fury with Tomahawk cruise missiles, advanced interceptors, and long-range precision-guided bombs. These weapons cost between $1 million and $2 million per unit. They cannot be mass-produced quickly. Lead times for replacement run 18 months to several years. The Pentagon has already begun transitioning away from precision munitions toward cheaper laser-guided bombs, costing as little as $100,000 per unit versus $1 to $2 million. The per-strike cost is dropping dramatically, but defense experts are saying privately, the shift from precision weapons to cheaper munitions is not a sign of efficiency. It is a sign that the premium weapons cabinet is getting empty. Mark Cancian, a weapons inventory expert at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, put it plainly, the more THAADs and Patriots you shoot, the more risk you assume in the Indo-Pacific and in Ukraine. The U.S. is moving THAAD components from South Korea to the Middle East, the same system that deters North Korean missiles from reaching Seoul. Every THAAD battery in Bahrain is one fewer protection for South Korea. America is not just spending money in this war. It is cannibalizing its own global deterrence posture. Trump's public narrative about the Iran war follows a consistent pattern. He says, "We virtually destroyed Iran's military." He says, "Their air force is gone. Their navy is gone." He says, "This will be a short-term excursion finished pretty quickly." He says, "Iran is near the point of defeat." Now let's check each claim against documented reality. Claim, their navy is gone. Reality, the U.S. military destroyed 16 Iranian mine-laying vessels near the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran's broader naval capability, the IRGC's fleet of small attack boats, coastal missile batteries, and submarine assets, continues to operate. Ships are being hit in the Gulf daily. Suicide boats attacked Safe Sea Vishnu. That is not a navy that's gone. Claim, Iran is near the point of defeat. Reality, U.S. intelligence agencies told Congress that Iran's government is not at risk of complete collapse anytime soon. The IRGC has continued targeting Gulf shipping, U.S. military assets, and regional infrastructure. Iran elected a new supreme leader on March 8th. The political structure is intact. Claim, short-term excursion finished pretty quickly. Reality, the Pentagon is preparing a request for tens of billions more from Congress. 7 American service members are confirmed dead. 3 15 fighters, worth $100 million each, were destroyed in a friendly fire incident with Kuwait. $300 million of American aviation shot down by an ally by mistake. This has received almost no mainstream coverage, perhaps because it doesn't fit the "we're winning cleanly" narrative. Iran has survived the opening phase of this war with unexpected resilience, and there is a specific reason: Russian intelligence assistance. According to Washington Post reporting, Russia has been providing Iranian forces with real-time intelligence to improve the targeting accuracy of their missile and drone strikes against U.S. and Israeli positions. This is not Russia firing weapons. It's Russia sharpening Iran's aim. The strategic logic for Moscow is elegant. Every $1 billion the U.S. burns in the Gulf is $1 billion not going to Ukraine. Every THAAD battery deployed to Bahrain is one fewer battery protecting Seoul or Eastern Europe. Every month the U.S. is distracted by Iran is a month Russia can operate more freely in its own neighborhood. Russia is not fighting this war. Russia is directing it, from a safe distance, at no cost to itself, while collecting $3 billion in extra oil revenue per month. The deepest problem with Trump's $11.3 billion in 6 days is not the amount. America is a wealthy country. It can, technically, afford it. The problem is the accountability gap between what is being claimed and what is being spent. If the war is nearly over, if Iran is on the verge of defeat, what is the $11.3 billion buying? What is the next $10 billion buying? What are the victory conditions, and how close is the U.S. to achieving them? These questions have not been answered publicly. Trump's team says the campaign is going well. Iran is still launching attacks. Gulf oil exports are effectively halted. Shipping is paralyzed. American allies in the Gulf are being struck. The war doesn't look like $11.3 billion worth of nearly finished. Here are the numbers that matter. $11.3 billion in 6 days. $1 billion per day burn rate. 7 American service members dead. $300 million in F-15s destroyed by friendly fire. THAAD batteries moved from South Korea, weakening Pacific deterrence. 16 Iranian ships destroyed, but Iran still attacking. Zero exit strategy.